I do not question the existence of God. I question our perception of God and what religion has to do with it. What exactly is religion anyway? Religion is nothing but man's attempt to make sense of his connection to God, the universe, his own higher self, within the context of human form. How can we be a part of God when we are separate from Him here on earth in these human, very limited bodies? Religion is man's attempt to answer that question. The truth is, we are not separate. We only feel that way because of the boundaries and limitations placed on us by human form. Religion is but an organized way of feeling this connection. Religion can also be a celebration of this connection. It is the opportunity to come together as humans and celebrate the spirit within, celebrate our connection to God, the divine, the universe, however you choose or have been conditioned to define it. In its best sense, in this way, religion can be a positive and good thing. When it becomes co-opted by those wanting personal glory and power, and seek this by instigating mind control in the name of God, that religion can be corrupted. When thoughts of God and views of God become so rigid and unbending, troubles arise. We must remain open to new ideas and new approaches to our relationship with God. Then, religion can evolve along with humanity and more peace will be evident on the planet. If God is everywhere like people have suggested, then that means He is within me, He is within you, He is within everybody and everything everywhere. This makes God all. God is in all things, so He is the all that is, the allness of all. God is our ability to feel and experience emotions. The mastery of human emotions is a goal of human form. For when we master the array of human emotions, we become enlightened. To be enlightened means to be one with the allness that we call God. To be enlightened means to see the world and those things who inhabit it from the same perspective that God would see it. How does God see the world? What is the purpose of God? What is the purpose of humanity and the world? If the purpose of our lives is to perfect ourselves for God, then what exactly is the purpose of God? Once we are all perfected, then what does God do next? What is the ultimate reason for any of this? God exists as the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine, the dark and the light. Close your eyes and visualize God as the yin and yang symbol. This is a great symbol for God, for it encompasses all perfectly without judgment, without anyone being better or more significant than the other side, the dark side, the light side, the feminine, the masculine, the everything, all things are encompassed within that yin and yang symbol. It being that a purpose of life is to perfect ourselves to be with the allness of God does point to a highly significant purpose. Why do we have this being we call God? Why have we bestowed Him with such almighty and supernatural powers? It is as if one day, a very long time ago, there was a giant energetic energy named God. This entity, God, exploded into trillions of tiny bits. God wanted to put Himself back together, but by now all His bits had become polluted. So in order to put Himself back together, He needed to initiate a cleansing process in order to make perfect each bit and piece of Him, so no part would pollute the whole. And so the earth was created. And humanity was formed, and a system of birth and rebirth was created. Now, through the process of going through lifetime to lifetime, these sparks of God have the opportunity to incarnate and go through the process to become perfected. It is but a human conceit that we call this enlightenment. So, the question becomes, once all these sparks of God are enlightened and perfected to rejoin the whole, what does this greatness that is the allness of God do next? The simple answer can only be that at this time the allness that is God will simply be. Once it is, then there's more that it can create. God is a creator. What more can he or she create when at full power? What new levels of creation can be attained? As sparks of this allness, what new and unexpected joys can we experience? As sparks of God, we each have the power of God. Our human form and human mind and egos limit our abilities. This is to be expected. Remember, enlightenment happens when we have mastered the wide array of human emotions without backing down, backing away, or suppressing them. Enlightenment occurs when we accept the buried emotions that come to the surface and make us frightened and uncomfortable and experience them fully once and for all. Enlightenment happens when we take an honest look at our shadows and fortify ourselves to step into them and see what is there. And what do we find in our shadows? We find suppressed feelings, suppressed emotions, things we just don't like about ourselves, things that make us uncomfortable, things that we want to suppress and get rid of. But suppressing them doesn't get rid of them. Pushing them down does not make them go away. They don't go away. You have to accept them. Once you accept them, they no longer have control over you, and they cannot affect you in such a negative way. We may not, and often do not, have an awareness of our connection to others, but at a microcosmic level, we are each the steward of our fellow man's soul. We may not be thinking or be consciously aware of the fact, but at the root of our being, at the root of all things, we know of our oneness. We appreciate our oneness, even with those our minds tell us we do not like. The spirit has no sense of like or dislike. It only has a sense of connection and appreciation for the other beings, those carrying a spark of God within them, seeking to be cleansed and purified so that they may return home and rejoin the all that is the allness of all, just like we ourselves are seeking to do. This is to be enlightened. This is to be perfected. This is to go home. Contributing to the all that is the allness of all is to tap into, embrace, and appreciate the God quality within us all. We are each a piece of God and therefore an aspect of God. As such, we each have the powers of God. One such power is the power to create and to manifest. Most are unaware of this power, although they tap into it daily. This is true. It's a simple and well-documented truth. Power flows where attention goes. So many people, and we are each perpetrators of this at one time or another, dwell on something negative. With so much attention and thought from humanity focused on this negativity, how can power not flow there? When power flows, manifestation occurs. So now we as humanity are creating more and more of what is negative. How is this a good thing to do? One aspect of it is that it is good that it creates a tipping point. It can be created to a point where the collected humanity will say, enough, we can't take it anymore. Now humanity knows what it must work to change. Now humanity will work to change. Now humanity will look at this situation it has recreated and say, if we don't want this, then what do we want? Now they will get their heads out of the darkness and start gazing at the light, at the stars that they can manifest on the planet. Now they say, we want this, pointing towards what is light, pure, and good, and then manifestation of that will occur. At this point, Certain avatars of this light and goodness will be placed on the planet to show the way to this change. Humanity wanted it, so now they got it. Here are beings to help show the way. Listen to these beings and be led to the manifestation of this change the world so desperately craves. So now that humanity knows what it wants, and now that they have a way shower to offer guidance, they can now focus their attention on this. Now they can align their flow of attention towards this intention. Now positive change has no choice but to occur. This is what it means to have the power of God within you, to be part of the all that is the allness of all. If you enjoyed this video, hit subscribe. There's more on the way. Oh, and click around the other videos on my channel. You'll find something you like.